My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I must inform you that I do not live in this house by myself, but live here with other people. Sometimes other members of the household may have to walk through areas where I might be recording with other family members on the phone. If you hear any noise like that, please feel free to disregard. We are doing our best to get noise canceling equipment, which may at least keep you from hearing exactly what is being said. Thank you for considering. Well, I'd like to mention to you all that on these little French Bulldogs, there's probably a few steps on at least one of them that I've taken in between videos here just to try to get things a little accomplished and finished up. But I'd say while I'm at it, I'll come down to sort of doing a little extra work onto these two little English ones, doing a similar step. And we'll kind of turn the camera down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing, but it's more a little bit ways up the head and the face, I say, and come down to where we're going to work a little bit into the piece of wood, kind of drawing little places where the knife comes up and makes a big little removement of chips from the dog's face. I say we got a little bit of a place right here where we're doing exactly that. And so I say that there's just a place where we come along here and I say remove a little bit more this way. I say put on a little bit more thinning off to the little muzzle here. Kind of come to the other side of the head, the other side of the face, and kind of get a little bit extra more wood removed along here to try to get a little bit of extra space into the work, and then just kind of move along where we got a place put in for the ears, kind of like from what I see here, I guess, kind of working the way along to kind of thin it out in the front, among the front of the body and the legs, to get a little bit more extra bulldog in here, and kind of come this far along. Oh, and to think about that old Butch the Bulldog that used to be in those Tom and Jerry cartoons. Oh, the ways Tom was always after Jerry, the little cat after the mouse, and all the things he tried to do to catch the mouse always ended up turning into a trick that Jerry played that irritated Butch the Bulldog instead. So I look back, recall some of those cartoons from my younger days. They were actually made before my time, but I'd say that they were always played like in reruns on TV when I was a kid. So that was kind of how I saw the shows and saw the cartoons. Oh, little interesting things that come out of it, I'd say. Oh, and tell me about it. Oh, those old cartoon days. Cartoons are just a little bit old in days. I say kind of chip along, remove the wood from around the little muzzle and take it on. I say, this little typical piece of work, what we make of it, and put a little bit of some type of abnormal sort of job into the work. Make it where a muzzle comes out like this. Try to do it on this other little English Bulldog as well. Try to remove extra excess wood that we don't need from around the face and the muzzle and behind the neck and the ear. Kind of take it along this way, show a little more. And unfortunately, we just chipped off a little piece of the ear, but it wasn't a big piece, so it's not gonna matter that much once we really get down to it, because that is going to be fixed when we do a little extra work that comes along a little bit later in the whole freaking project. So I say, just removing this extra excess wood from around the dog shall sort of take little light away from the whole project and make it so this little dog is going to have a little place in its life where we all just see how much work gets done in the art. And I say just a time when we kind of got a reason to succeed in life, I say. And with all this little extra wood, I say, kind of make it so we kind of get along here to the muzzle as well, up to this little section of the face here. Kind of get a little excess in here to remove a little bit of a chip from the corner. And I say just kind of work down to where we get the side of the muzzle in here as well. Make it so we're going to see the little English Bulldog just make its way out. Oh, and of all things I recall from those old cartoons as a kid, I say one was where they were showing a little timber wolf, and the timber wolf was just putting out its hands and calling out, "Timber, timber." I say, we're going to kind of remove here around these bottom corners of the muzzle and kind of get a little light into the piece, just like that. And I say that this was probably a step I might have already taken with the French Bulldogs when I was in between videos here, but I'd say that there's always steps to come along with each of these dogs as well. Try to remove along that little part that comes up as a little scrap in the dog. I say just kind of working our ways in. I mean, and as for now, just kind of make little lines that show how great the dog shall turn out to be, I say. And it's going to be a little thing we'll do with these little Frenchies as well. Kind of move up their bodies a little bit, just with a little bit of a stroke of the knife. removing wood from their fronts of bodies and stuff, and kinda with all the little extra grace we show in all the little work that we do, and come down to where it's all going to be nicely done. Probably one of these days I could be doing some pit bulls or Rottweilers, depending on what kind of little scraps or patterns I come out with eventually that could be made into those kinds of things. And this is just kind of the way a little work of a carving goes. And come along where we make little muzzles and put in the type of work we do just to show it to be a little character of a trace. Oh, little work, I say, it's gonna manage us a long way. Come down to where we get this little facey in, and then come down to where we're gonna do another part here and kind of trim along the little bodies to make it so we're going to have little Frenchie come into place to do his own little thing. Oh, how we see a little work that dives right into what we do, and for a little extra profit there's going to be some work to be involved. And I say with a little time and effort we can make a piece turn out just like it ought to be. And I say this is a moment when we're kind of thinning things down a bit, make the head a little skinnier here like we've done. Might take care of that same little step on this other one too. Try to remove the excess and get a little face in here. I say just kind of like a little type of work that works a way into a little piece we have. I say kind of like this little project that goes quite the ways into making what we do make of it. I'd say we probably want the faces to be about of equal width, so kind of come along this way, put extra lines and stuff right into the face, into the way it goes. And so I say this is just the joy of a work that's in us, you know. Oh, the things we enjoy in life when we get busy and stuff, and see how a little obvious work shall make a way in. I say, thinning things down, thinning things out. Buddy, I tell you all, it's like, oh, kinda make its way to what we ought to see it be. I say that it's like this little work is going to show a little more, and we're getting down to where we're making it about down to the last part. I say there's just kind of work here that it gets done when it needs to be, and so we see this is what we get when we work hard to achieve it. We get progress. And so I say little projects of galore and work and effort. It's just kind of like where we probably got the faces close to the same width here. Maybe thin this one down a little more. Try to give it a thinner muzzle. And now we're down to just a few minutes left, so don't want to take too long. Just want to tell you all that appreciate you coming on to watch, to see what I can make, hear what I say, see what I do, and wish you all the best, and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned.